Morning! My name is Emily Fraser. I'm the creator of the Hicks and Draconis and Gallery Tabletop RPGs, and this is a little series going into the previews of Gallery as it comes out. The game is currently in its kind of beta development stage, going through testing, moving very close to actual funding, which should happen later in 2025, and I'd like to take you through each individual chapter and kind of talk a little bit about it, show off a little of the stuff at the beginning, and discuss what it is that's in that chapter that's kind of important to the overall book. Starting off right here at the Prelude. Gallery begins with a blank page, and then it goes immediately into this kind of meta narration wherein a being that you can't identify, that isn't actually shown to you, is talking to you about aspects of your life with this kind of like shared recognition of those aspects. And it speaks very firmly to Gallery's theme of a sort of life lived that the rest of the world doesn't necessarily know about or understand, but certain beings, certain entities do. In this case, the thing speaking to you is a patron, which is a thing that you'll kind of learn about later on in the book. But when it starts, it's more just sort of like an internal narrative. And that is intended to speak directly to a specific sort of player. The kind of characters that are actually in this game, because this game is intended to have you play muses, which are these kind of like unique brushwork beings, magical beings that we'll go into as we get a little further into the preview. But B, it's just designed to speak to a very specific kind of trans queer experience, which is a heavy theme throughout the book. This is a very queer story. It's a very queer overall narrative structure. And we kind of set that off with a certain expectation right here from the front. And it's not designed to speak to sexuality specifically. It's kind of designed to speak to interpreting the world in a way that the world tells you it isn't really intended to be interpreted. You're fed certain media, said that you're expected to react to it a certain way, and you find that you don't. You're fed certain social situations, expected to be reacted to it a certain way, and they don't apply to you in the way that you think to. You're expected certain roles or clothing or appearance or anything else, and they fall flat because they don't specifically work with the way that your mind thinks. These experiences are kind of expounded upon a little bit in this narrative. It lasts for only about 5 pages, and they're short, right? These little ones here, which set the mood of where you're headed in this book. At the end of the prelude, you get this big spread, obviously unfinished at this point, showing the manifested forms of the various muses that you can play. A final note, and then the actual opening of the book itself. And that's it. That's the prelude. There's another section that comes immediately after this that kind of gets into a bit more of the crunch. Actually, wrong word. That gets a bit more into the lore in the setting so that you can understand the setting a little bit better. But we begin this story literally with just a feeling. And it's my hope that that feeling kind of puts you in the right mind to begin generating your character when you get to that point.